Yeah, so we're gonna figure out what we finna do, man. I really don't know what's finna happen, but fuck it, let's go. Let's do it.
So to start off this piece, man, I wanted to do an underpainting. So I got some acrylic and laid it down like this mauve looking color. I felt like it was gonna complement it well for where I was going because it's close to their skin tone, but it'll give me a nice look for where I would attack it in the abstract perspective. So it was a real smooth process. Put about 1 to 2 coats on it.
Get this vibe going. Then at the end, I kind of want to see how I could bring this saxophone out, bro. So we're gonna figure that out.
So the
Um,
inspo behind this piece
yeah, so let's
is
do that.
honestly, I would say my great
Let's do
grandfather.
that.
And recently, man, I've
What you
just
wanna
been
do, like a
heavily,
red
heavily
oak
inspired
vibe?
into listening to
Blue bird,
jazz.
nice. For
And
the bird.
it's been more so taking me out of my hip hop element and really been having me explore sound, how sound makes me feel, and more so resonating with the feeling of the instruments rather than just going off of some damn lyrics. Just truly, man, like even more that I listen to the jazz music, man, like I was talking to my lady the other day and I referenced about how even back then when it came to making music, when they were doing blues and jazz, like it wasn't too many lyrics they were saying. It was more so about the
Yeah.
music, about the feeling they were trying to express. And you heard that through the instruments, and you heard that through the phrases or the calls that were named. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to the blues, like I like this one song by James Brown called Soul Power, but it's really cool because he only got one phrase on this talking about don't we need it, soul power, you gotta have it, soul power. Then they just start jamming out. And it just really emphasizes the intention of it. So moving on to this stage of the piece, I'm really want to make sure that the form of the face was very put together, man, because as I've been learning this, I've been all self-taught. Like I didn't go to art school. I didn't take up painting in school. I went to school for cinematography because I've been shooting photography for about 10 years and I wanted my photos to look more like movies. So I took up cinematography, which got me into cinema. But I've been kind of pulling back the layer to get back into painting and drawing. And I also felt it was ways that I couldn't express myself in photography that I needed to do on the canvas. I believe that's what really got me into painting because one of the first people I dove into was Jean Basquiat. But I love the expressionism from him because it just seemed as if he got all of his thoughts, all of his moments, all of his feelings, all of his motion that he was going through. Motion, not emotion, but motion, like what he was doing, how frantic he was moving, how his mind would move with his body. I was getting all that from his canvas. So I had to take a step back and was like, okay, I really don't know how to capture this, but I can definitely express this in a different way. So when I ended up picking up the canvas about 6, 7 months ago, it kind of just rolled off the finger, man, and I was like, okay, I could see this. I could definitely see this going somewhere. I just would like to definitely keep going at it, and honestly, I just been going at it from then, and that's how you see me now making my own canvases and all that. But even in that, man, all that just kind of came from literally just knowing that, okay, I know I want to make bigger pieces. Shout out to Clarence White, man, because when I first met him, he's an artist. I think he's showing in DC right now for DTR. I think that's the name of the gallery. But he told me, man, when I first met him, he was like, yo, like, make sure that you are painting large. Like, go big. Go big. So ever since I heard that, I was like, okay, cool. So let's go big. And I started making my own canvases because I went to Michaels and I was like, yo, these shits are too expensive. So even all that to say, man, what this image speaks to me about is expressing how the insecurities that I could have, which is all based upon fear, based upon outside forces, based upon me second guessing or doubting myself, all that shit means nothing, bro. And that's what keeps people behind. And the more I continue to create these thoughts, these whys or hows, and not figuring out just how to do it and just trusting myself that I can fulfill that, I'm just gonna keep going backwards. And That's why I see a lot nowadays, and we don't need that repetition, bro. And we need to start that with the youth, you know? Like, I really believe it starts with the youth, it starts with the next generation, and it starts with us being older and understanding, okay, this works, and we know this works, but we sticking to that, you know what I'm saying? We having a not only an understanding, but we know at the end of the day, in order for this cycle to flow, in order for us to move to fruition, we have to really attack the fear and really embrace us as a whole.
It's good, people. Getting started on this. It's a project I've been working on for some time. So, we're gonna see what we get with this. I want to start doing the outlines. And then I want to start adding my washes in. So, it's gonna get smooth with this. Good thing I just picked up some black paint. I needed some acrylic. What's up, baby? It kind of reminds me of me and my mom. You know, when I was had my art showcase the other day, I was talking about how in some instances, man, my mom, she will always want me to keep my hair, but it was because, man, like I just always like to experiment with it, but with that, found myself loving to explore my hair. So, and honestly, too, why I've always had my hair like this too. But I remember when I was coming up in middle school, though, like I had like the Usher, Mohawk, and all that shit, like the Derwin Davis from the game type of, and that was cool, man. But I always loved my fro, and one thing I used to do in high school was I always used to get the taper, but I wouldn't keep all my full head of hair. So I think it was like COVID. I remember back in college, bro. I had put a relaxer in my head, man, cause back in high school, my mom she used to put the S curl in my head. And, I used to fuck with it, you know what I'm saying? But it only lasts like 2 days. After that, bro, I was like, man, I'm cool off that. And I wanted to explore again in college, bro. Why did I do that? Ended up having to cut my whole hair off, bro. Yeah, it was bad. Like one side of my hair was straight, and like the other side of my hair was like weird and wavy. It was funny, man. But I know I won't put a relax in my head no more.
It's gonna be such an amazing piece, and I'm keeping this for me. And I'm thinking about gifting it to my mom, maybe, because the reason I say maybe because I don't know if she got enough space at the crib. But with that being said, this piece means a lot to me because it's just a direct connection to my mom. From the cotton balls you see on the canvas representing my fro, and the reason it's so big too, because currently, as you see my hair right now, I mean it's definitely wrapped in a bandana, but my hair probably hasn't been this long in ever in my life. So it's just her being an inspiration of growing this plant on my head, man. But how massive it's grown in life, and how this tree has branched out so much further than it thought it could when I was at that age when I was a kid. And I got this cool signature that I want to add to at the end of the piece as well. That's gonna complement it. Even diving deeper into this painting and the whole feeling of your mom taking care of you, she's sitting up behind you and taking care of your hair, falling asleep on her, or just having those deep conversations about self and what we doing, or even just watching TV, sitting back and watching movies while the process is going. The intimate experience when my mom would be doing my hair and I'm just laying up in between her, it wasn't just a moment of time, it was more so an experience of bonding. It was something that we could also have in common, you know. Because one thing I can say, man, my mom, she was, like I said, one of my biggest cheerleaders when it came to self expression.
Later that day,
So as we get deeper into this piece, you see I'm starting to form the eyes a little more. And as you notice too, I've also moved into a new space. So I'm not on the balcony anymore. So I really wanted to personalize my area. It's supposed to mimic my little cousin. He always be used to have his head down. Like niggas would be like, they'll be getting on to him talking about why you got your head down. Well, he's shy, but also people ain't teaching him to come out his shell. Or people ain't teaching him really just how he needs to stop being insecure and be confident in himself. Yeah. I've been noticing that just with the kids when I've been teaching. Finishing up this piece is definitely one of my favorites. I plan on building some frames for this as well. And I low key want to do a series with this. You know, I think this would be something that can really highlight the inner struggles of the young black boy that I face, but also too what we see what continues to hinder our children for generations to come and in our past generations. As we get deeper in this piece, man, now I'm just applying my abstract look. So really it's just going based amongst feeling, man. I started off with primary colors and intuitively I started layering. So really I didn't have much structure when it came to thinking about how I wanted to put it down, but I definitely wanted to layer and kind of fill in these spaces with different emotions. And in doing so, it really gave me the space to reflect and think about just the impactful bond me and my mom have and how that makes me feel and how it's impacted me just as a youth and as I've becoming more and more into my adulthood, man. Big shout out to my boy Mook, man, for also helping me with this footage, providing the footage to me too as well. Super dope photographer and cinematographer, but just one of my great friends. And he really just hit me up the day of and was like, yo, man, I'm trying to get you in your space. And I was like, shoot, why not? So he pulled up, man. So I appreciate you all for even staying to the end of this video. And if you like these videos, please continue to support, man. Check out my website and grab you a print. I got prints all the way from the beginning of my painting journey, along with some dope photo archives that I've documented over time as well. Also, if you like any other pieces in this video, feel free to reach out to me, inquire about anything. I got some originals that are available too that you can see on my Instagram. They're not posted on my website yet, but they will be up there shortly. Thank you guys again. I'm out of here, yo. Peace and love.